Well, Pete, we'll provide an update at 11 o'clock, but as at around 6:30 last night, we had 17 cases, and I'm asking everybody to brace themselves for more cases today. We had 6 pop-up clinics on the northern beaches yesterday, and thousands of people came forward to get tested. So we are expecting to see those case numbers go up. But what is really, really critical is that for anybody who lives on the northern beaches, not to leave home unless you absolutely have to. We really want to reduce mobility. If you do need to leave home for an essential reason, make sure you wear a mask if you're going grocery shopping. Make sure you wear a mask if you're catching public transport. It's really, really important for everybody to follow the health advice, and that health advice is for the next 3 days, but also for the rest of Sydney to be on high alert. You may have been in contact with someone from the northern beaches, or someone from the northern beaches with the disease may have been socialising at events or mingling with people, and for that reason we're asking everybody in Greater Sydney to be on high alert. Make sure you get tested even if you have the mildest symptoms. Stay home and get isolated until you get the results. But most importantly, I'm asking everybody outside of the northern beaches, including those in the northern beaches, if you're catching public transport, please wear a mask. If you're going grocery shopping today, please wear a mask. If you're going to a place of worship, please wear a mask. We need to revert to those extra precautions we had in place just a couple of weeks ago, really, to make sure that all of us stay safe and that all of us have as best a Christmas as possible.
When you say brace for worsening numbers, Premier, are we talking, I know you don't want to reveal it until later on, but are we talking Tie Rock, Crossroads type numbers, or even worse than that?
Oh, look, we are. Well, look, I don't want to speculate beyond what I've said, and just to say that I'm expecting, a similar number today, but we will just see how we go with the results. They're coming in. Normally we have cut-offs, but obviously we're collecting all the information we can to get on top of it as quickly as we can. There's additional venues that have been added onto the list of where people have been with the virus, so please make sure you're looking up those venues and making sure you get tested if you'd attended any of them.
Can you confirm, Premier, that it was an international airline worker that may have started it?
No, we can't confirm that. What we can confirm, however, is that the original source is an international strain, and how they got into the community is what our genomic tracers are working out as we speak. But what is the absolute priority for our health experts today is to contact everybody with the disease, obviously, but also get in touch with their direct contacts. Some businesses were outstanding with their QR codes, some were really slack. So we're asking all businesses as well throughout Sydney to make sure, it's already compulsory to have a QR code, but make sure that all the precautions that your business is taking is really done to the letter of the law, because we don't want to see what we call seeding. So people from the northern beaches who may have had the disease may have been mingling with other venues and other people throughout Greater Sydney, and that's why it's critical for all of us to be on alert, to take those extra precautions, especially with wearing a mask in those recommended places, but also thinking about non-essential activity. Do you really need to do things that are non-essential today? The less mobility there is, the less likelihood the disease will spread. We know that, that's what the experts say. So the less mobility, the less people are moving around, the less likely the disease is to spread. And our aim is to get on top of this, obviously, in the next 24, 48 hours.
Sure. So just to clarify, it wasn't an international airline worker who may have breached quarantine that was responsible for it?
Well, it's not yet confirmed. We don't know. All we know is that the strain is an international one, but we don't know the original source yet.
OK. What do you make of the decision? Sure. Sorry. What do you make of the decision overnight that the West Australian Premier has decided to essentially shut the border? Queensland has declared a hotspot, moving towards the same. What do you make of those decisions, and have they been made too early?
Look, I wouldn't begrudge any state for regarding the northern beaches as a hotspot, because at this time the northern beaches is a hotspot. But I would ask them to have a proportionate response to what's happening in New South Wales. There are vast parts of the state that are completely unaffected. Clearly the northern beaches is a concentration of cases, and so I would be taking precautions if I was another state leader and there was a similar outbreak in another state, as was the case in South Australia. We didn't close our borders, but we certainly took precautions from people who were coming in from those regions and coming in from those hotspots. So I would have taken the same action had the shoe been on the other foot. But I just ask all state leaders to be proportionate to the risk and to also factor in the plans people have made over Christmas. There are vast parts of the state not affected at all. But clearly the northern beaches is an area of concern, and I would have taken action had I been in their shoes as well.